Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bonsai Podcast. Podcast, it doesn't stop. We just keep on going, even if we're not around for a month. My name is Mike.
My name is Tyler.
That's right, and we're your hosts as an anime and video games podcast. What's up, everybody? Hello.
We're not going to do the whole thing in song. I was really excited to try to keep this going.
No, we're not going to do the whole thing in song. I mean, that would be impressive.
It would,
but right now it doesn't set a very good precedent. Seeing as the one man who was known to do everything in song is finally going to jail, or may be in jail. I'm not entirely sure.
Who are you talking about?
R. Kelly, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, R. Kelly finally got in real trouble after 20 years of pissing on little kids. He finally is in jail, and I think
good, fuck him.
Yeah, I think the parents of the world can rest easy. Yeah, the fact that he wasn't in jail for the past 15 years is, I mean, it just says
literally crazy.
It just says what money can do. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. But Luthi says, "I believe I can fly straight into jail." I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch these cell bars.
I was going to say the sky through my cell bars every night and day.
I just think about my peeing days. But yeah, I mean, have you ever watched the entirety of The Closet?
No. No.
I guess it's a bad time to be talking about the things that R. Kelly did, but The Closet it's amazing, Tyler.
What is it? I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, I know he's a musician.
Okay, so R. Kelly made an album called The Closet, and it's I think it's 45 minutes, maybe even longer. And it's one continual story, right? And it's very much a story. It doesn't always rhyme, but he sings every second of it, and it's in parts. And it's his journey from sleeping with a married woman to her husband coming home, and he hides in the closet. And then, there's a little person who I believe he calls a midget with a gun, and everybody's got it just goes on and on and on, Tyler, and just becomes, it's so ridiculous. It's literally you ever heard of Axe Cop?
No.
Okay, so Axe Cop is a story. It's a comic book that is written by a 5-year-old and then drawn by his dad, who's a professional comic book artist.
Oh, okay. Right? That sounds funny.
Yeah, no, it's great. So, The Closet is a lot like that. It's
but it's just all R. Kelly.
Yes, it's entirely R. Kelly. So it's if you just explain...
I actually forgot. The only I don't listen to a ton of music. I don't know shit about R. Kelly or his music. The only thing I knew about R. Kelly was that South Park made fun of him. In the show, he was locked in a closet. That was all I remember. So this makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. And it should be a joke. The whole song, album, it should be a joke, but it is done with the most sincerity out of anything I've ever seen in my life, I think. R. Kelly was so serious about The Closet. It's so fucking funny, dude. And every single song was turned into a music video. So it's a movie. Tyler's never seen The Closet, no.
What?
Devin's like, what?
I know, I can hear her. I did not know this.
Yeah. So anyway.
R. Kelly is a horrible person. That sounds like a train, it's like a masterful train wreck.
Oh, absolutely. And now he is permanently locked in a closet.
Of bars.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a closet's a closet. It's just a tiny room, right?
I don't know, how do you define a closet?
Yeah, because it is a room of its own,
It
even if
is,
it's
yeah.
small. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I know people who, like, their rooms were closets.
Yeah, I
I'm not
lived in a
talking about
closet.
Harry Potter. Yeah, yeah, I have another friend who, he rented a really big closet for like $300 a month in San Diego or something. But he was able to, like, fit a bed and a desk in there.
Yep.
Like,
Nope.
Yeah, Neonos is saying he lives in, what's the definition of a closet?
You gotta check it out. I bet you America and England disagree.
Okay. Well, just to start off, when you look up closet on Google under the dictionary section, it says noun, number 1, North American. So there probably is a difference.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
A tall recess or wardrobe with a door used for storage. So fucking anything could be a closet as long as it has a door.
Yeah, I mean, my ass could be a closet.
But apparently it has to be tall also.
So Ryan's ass could be a closet. You just store a bunch of stuff in there. It has a door.
No. What's the door?
The sphincter. It opens and shuts. I would assume that's the definition of a door.
Hold on. What's the definition of a door? Definition of door.
Because it doesn't have to have a knob. You can push doors. There's swing doors.
How does an anus shut? What is the mechanism of shutting?
It's like Star Wars. You know those like doors that are like whoosh and they open up.
Yeah, no. I know exactly what you're talking about, but what is that mechanism called?
It's a sphincter.
Because here's the thing. A door it is a hinged, sliding, or revolving barrier at the entrance to a building, room, or vehicle, or in the framework of a cupboard.
I see. So Kit is screaming at us that it's more of a valve than a...
You know what? Kit's right. It is more of a valve. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that an ass can be a door.
Well, apparently Neonosis is boarding a plane. Hey, man, thank you for dropping in. You have a safe flight.
For the first 5 minutes.
I swear to God, you are an international hitman, dude. I swear to fucking God. Anyway, by the way, we are joined by Alpha, Cole, Luthi, Neo, Omni, and Kit. We got a big house today. It's good. It's good to see you all here. Fucking love you guys.
I'm really glad that we changed the Patreon around to let more people come in during the live recordings. It's been a lot more fun since we did that.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. I'm still waiting on our Mr. Meows to come and save the day. Join the $15,000 tier and take a trip to Disneyland VIP with us.
Yep.
But we'll, maybe I think what's stopping everybody from joining that tier is really the pandemic.
Yeah, I agree. I think as soon as the world is at a safe spot, somebody's definitely gonna join the $15,000 tier.
I would
go to
assume
Disneyland.
All of our Patreon or our patron supporters would jump up to that tier, but
we did not put a limit on it.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna live in Disney World. We are going to become Mr. Meows, so it'll be a good time.
We're gonna be regulars.
All right, Tyler. So here's something I was thinking about, and I think that we should just do it because we do it anyway. But let's start a new segment on this podcast called The News. All right, Tyler, what's been going on with you?
No, we can't have a new segment, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because that means I have to find more music whenever I edit it.
No, you don't. Just take the music that you used in the beginning, cut it in half, and just put it in between that.
Oh, okay. Is that what you do? You just use one song for the whole thing?
No, but I'm also not being lazy. Yeah, I could be lazy if I wanted to.
That's fair. We could both be lazy. What's going on with me? Okay, so I got up and it's really cold because it's fall now. I don't know if you guys have noticed that it's fall, but it's fucking cold all of a sudden. I'm like wearing sweatshirts and shit all day. Like Kit says, wait, there's music on the podcast? Yeah, Kit, between the segments there's music. You just always hear it live, so you don't know.
It's good music too. I've used all sorts of like
anime music, sometimes video game.
I used a lot of Japanese covers of pop songs.
Yeah, that too.
One of my favorite ones was this James Brown cover, and it
Mhm.
was like, instead of fucking it's Sex Machine, right?
The
That's
song.
the name of the song, I think, you know?
I don't know.
Like a sex machine.
Sure.
I get on the scene like a loving machine. You know, but it's Japanese, and it's like yada da da uraka. Yada da da uraka. It's fucking awesome.
That's great.
So yes, it's fall in Portland.
It's fall, it's cold, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna put on a sweatshirt before we do the podcast. And I grabbed my Discord sweatshirt and I tried to put it on, and both of the fucking sleeves were stuffed with socks. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's weird.
So I found a bunch of socks that I had been missing and had no idea about, apparently.
So when I was a kid, I used to pull this prank on myself, right? Like to try and test my memory. I used to put tacks in the bottom of shoes I didn't wear very often, and like see if I would remember. And then if I didn't, I'd put my foot in my shoe and I'd be like, "Ow, Mike, you rascal!"
Like, past me, you little so and so.
It's funny. You can really prank your future self. No, I don't feel like a lot of people do that, but
Sure
I would.
You can. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I will say I went to the store the other day. I needed to do some shopping. And I've been on like this hot dog kick. Basically, I found keto hot dog buns, even though I haven't been eating keto. But it's very exciting, so that means that if I ever get myself back on fucking track and eating keto, I can have hot dogs, because those are keto. So I went to the store to get some hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was picking out hot dogs, I was like, you know, like the most popular, the most well-known, at least in my opinion, are like the Hebrew National hot dogs, you know? Like everybody knows those, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Why the fuck are those not in the kosher aisle at the store?
Because maybe they just haven't been blessed by a rabbi.
But they're kosher.
Are they?
Yeah.
Or is that just the marketing tie?
No. What does that mean?
I mean, does it say kosher on them?
Hebrew National hot dogs kosher. Are Hebrew National hot dogs kosher? From myjewishlearning.com. Let's go.
Yes, dude. I need this website. Send it to me.
myjewishlearning.com.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna come at you with all this Jewish stuff, and you're gonna be like, "What?"
Here you go. Here's the hot dog link. Oh my
Okay.
god, it's like a whole fucking like page.
It should say kosher right on the fucking pack.
There is a pack here. Does it say gluten-free? Family pack, premium kosher beef, 100% kosher beef.
There it is, right in the big thing. Okay.
Yeah.
How could something not be 100% kosher beef? Like, would the rabbi just bless like half of it? I want that job, dude. I want to be the rabbi that just goes places and is like, kosher. It's kosher. It's kosher. I want that job. That sounds like a great job. Sounds like you don't do much.
Like a great job. Oh man. Yeah. I really missed out on my calling in life. I bet that dude gets paid big.
Yeah, I bet he does, because people love kosher stuff. They don't even know, like, I'll tell you, Christians don't generally know what kosher is. They just think kosher is right.
Even the Jews don't really know what kosher is.
They don't know that it's just blessed by a rabbi?
I mean, I'm sure, like, a good amount of them do, but, like, if I said, what does kosher mean? They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's Jewish food, I guess. You know,
no.
like...
Oh, Jews think that it's Jewish. I see. See, yeah. when Christians see kosher, they're like, oh, it's just good, you know, because it's kosher.
But being kosher doesn't mean it was blessed by a rabbi, I don't think.
Kosher has to do with how the food is handled while alive and how it's killed and processed?
Yes. Yeah, it has to be handled and prepared by the Jewish laws.
Oh God. What are these
they're
laws?
Jew laws.
What are the laws, Tyler? Tell me the laws of kosher.
I don't.
Come on.
I don't know them off the top of my head.
Well, you look them up, and I'll tell people about some stuff that's going on with me. So,
okay.
Jewish
food laws. That's something that I never thought was going to be in my fucking Google searches.
I got, and I have to be quiet about this, a kitty cat. His name is
Wait,
Naru,
why do you
and
got to be quiet about that?
because we're not technically supposed to have a cat, but I mean ESA, which is an emotional support animal thing, and so does Devin, so it's all legal. We just don't want to deal with it. Anyway, so we got him. His name's Naru. He's blonde, and he is the cutest boy. And he snuggles, and he instantly gives up the belly, dude. Like, just like roll. Like, I'm talking full belly, man. Like you, like full hand on it. You can do scrunches. You can do pets. All of it. He just doesn't care. And
Is he one of those cats that like you'll start like scratching his like butt near the tail and he gets really into it?
yeah, I mean, most cats are like that because they have like, I don't know, there's something towards the bottom of their spine there that like they just get like, they're like, they just like put their ass up in the air.
Yeah, they really like it.
One thing that's funny about him.
There's some other cats that really like being like slapped back there. You know what I mean? Like you like pat them. You know what I mean?
Just slapping the pussy, dude.
Well,
it's like, yeah.
Well, you know how like dogs like that. You know, you'll smack a dog a lot, like really hard, and be like, and they're like, yeah, that feels good. Some cats are like that too.
Oh, you mean like patting?
Yeah, but some of them like it like really hard.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like fucking like Rottweilers and stuff.
Yeah. But
like the muscly
there are cats
dogs
like that too, where like you'll pet them and they'll like look at you like harder, and then so you do it hard and they're like meow, and they're like really happy about it. Like, yeah. Have you tried that yet or no?
No, he's a little, he's still adjusting, so a little skittish from time to time, like, but he's so fucking funny. And Devin says he has chosen me, which is the first time that I've ever been chosen. But we're also a little concerned that he's not fully grown, even though he's supposedly 2, because his paws are like fucking tiger paws, dude. They're so big, and he's got a ton of fur.
His paws are like way bigger than.
And his fangs, dude. He's got like fucking saber-tooth fangs, man. So we're thinking, and he's got a ton of fur in between his paws. So it's like could be a coon cat.
Ooh.
Without us knowing.
Kid says you're giving the cat foreplay.
Let's not go there now.
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because, like, how much does he weigh? Like 10, 15 pounds or something?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, he's a medium build.
Okay,
so
but long hair, I assume?
Medium.
Oh, domestic medium hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's got big bottle brush for a tail, and he's
I like
got a bunch
bottle brush tails.
Fur in his ear and fur in his paws and the big.
Well, he might just be a
fangs.
hairy cat. I mean,
well, the fur in between the paws is that's a coon cat trait, or a Maine coon cat trait that only they have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, that's so exciting. I wish when I had come out there, you had already had that cat. Cats are the best.
Especially when they're like really relaxed and chill. Like it's great. Devin is cuddling with him right now. Actually.
Is he a lap sitter yet, or?
Oh yeah. I mean, not like, I tried when I was like editing. Like I put a pillow on my lap and he was just like, gonna crawl over your keyboard and go away. Like,
Yep. That's very cat-like.
But we're getting there.
See, here's the thing. You haven't tried streaming yet. The moment you start trying to stream, that cat is going to be all over you and bugging you. I'm very excited for it.
It's great. Everybody's going to love it. All the better. Because nobody cares about when I play video games. They just want to see me, like, sit in front of the camera and, like, talk about stupid shit.
Yeah, when you play video games, 15 people. When you talk about random shit, 30 to 50. Yeah. If you talk about random shit with a cat, you're going to get over 100 easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cats sell YouTube, says Kit.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in videos for sure. Speaking of videos, we just finished one that was pretty neat. We got a lot of praise for it from not only our viewers, but also our friends, which was really cool. Like Beyond Ghibli like messaged me and he was like, dude, like that video was so dope. And I was just like, because it was, I was looking at it, and
Mm-hmm.
like it was a 15-minute video by us. It wasn't anything particularly special. We didn't have a ton of um footage to use. We had to reuse that lightsaber fight like 25 times.
Yeah,
We
there's
did,
like two lightsaber fights, and there's only like two bits of action in each one
because they're
because
really
they're
good.
very they're really good, but they're also very simple lightsaber fights, like
Mm.
the older Star Wars fights.
Yeah.
So there's not a shitload of like flippy do, like there's not a ton of that going on.
Yeah.
So
And the
we
rest
didn't
is
have.
talking.
Yeah, yeah. So it was we definitely reused those fights a good amount, but we kind of had to.
hmm But yeah, we got a lot of high praise for it. I don't think people understood like how, or people didn't realize how into Star Wars I am. So I
Hmm.
think that shocked a lot of people. But the thing is like, okay, so Beyond Ghibli is always very encouraging to us.
Well,
You know,
it's funny because like we always think that Joe's videos are better than ours, and he always thinks that his videos are worse than ours.
yeah, I finally brought that up to
Always.
him because I watched his video, right?
I
Because
thought his
this
video was phenomenal,
is
dude.
super good. Like, so the video that we put out is on the Elder from Star Wars Visions. It's the Star Wars anime that came out on Disney Plus,
Yep.
and us and 8 other YouTubers got together. It was Beyond Ghibli, Isla McTeer, Jack Under the Scope, Mr. Nice
Yep.
Guy,
Yep.
Kaze, Shabes, who did it under Caribou Coon, which is his other channel, Replay
Hmm.
Value,
Yep.
and I know
Evanito.
Evanito. Yeah, dude, I liked Evanito's video too.
I
It's
like
funny,
this
like,
too.
yeah. So yeah, so they're all in a playlist, and you can watch them in order, just like you can watch Visions in order. And I feel like Joe's really went well with ours as like a companion piece because his was talking a lot about
Totally
lightsabers.
agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Uh,
I can't remember who said it. I think it was in our Patreon comments. But somebody was talking about how they really liked ours and they really liked Beyond Ghibli's because we actually talked about Star Wars in our specific show,
mm,
you know,
hmm
in what Star Wars means
Yeah.
within that context, the context of ours in particular, not just like the entire visions. And
It was
I kind of agreed with that a lot.
it was Omni.
Omni. Okay.
Yeah. Hey Omni,
What up,
what's up,
Omni?
dude? Also, Charles the Sorcerer is in the house. But yeah, so it was really good. Like I watched everybody's videos. Everybody's videos were really great. Like Under the Scope got stuck with Tatooine Rhapsody, which I think is more or less the least favorite, other than the last one. What was it called? Like Akika, something like that. Um,
Akikara or something like that.
yeah. And replay value to that. I hadn't heard of replay value before, but his video was really good. But one video that I have to point out that not enough people watched at all, which is really disappointing to me because this guy is a really good YouTuber, who is swinging way beyond his league. Like Kaze is Kaze Talks
Mm-hmm.
is fucking, he's good, dude. Like he's really
Yeah.
good. I think he's I talked to him because I could not place his accent at all, and it's partially Portuguese. So
Oh,
he has
okay.
a,
Interesting.
yeah, and like I don't know if you've ever heard like a Portuguese person speak English, but it's a
I think I have.
very strange accent. It is like Portugal Portuguese. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
strange accent. But his is,
That's where I would have assumed, as opposed to like Brazil.
yeah, yeah. His is really toned down. It's nice. It's not like you're trying to figure out what he's saying by any stretch of the
Mm-hmm.
imagination. Um, but like my friend's like 100% Portuguese. His grandmother came over from Portugal, and she used to come into McDonald's when I worked there as a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
like I couldn't understand a word she said, and I didn't know it was his grandma, and I had no idea what language she spoke. You know what I mean? Like, and it turned out it was Portuguese, and like Portuguese is a really cool language with a really cool accent. But anyway, he did the video on TOB1.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he found things like not only was it really well edited, it was really well written, but he found things that I just didn't make any connections to. Like it's very like apparent call outs to, or not call outs, but callbacks to Fantasia.
Right. I saw that comment. I haven't actually watched his video yet because I watched a few of them and I was like, I'm gonna go play Metroid.
Mhm.
But I did get the notification for that comment. I was like, oh really? There was Fantasia stuff
Yeah.
in there? I did not notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, he did it. He did a really good job. It was really cute. It was like very close to how I probably would have covered it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But like I told him, I was like, dude, I did not even put Fantasia like together with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like
Mm-hmm.
he did a really phenomenal job, and his channel's small. I think he has like 4,000 to 6,000 subscribers. He deserves way more. He should definitely be up there with the rest of us, you know, in that
Mm-hmm.
200,000 range. Like cuz he deserves it. I really think that like
Do you know how long he's been making videos?
not that long, I don't think. I think that you know, he was basically he was really excited to be a part of this, you know, because like he watched a lot of our channels and was like, I want to do that, you know, which I that's why I got into YouTube, because I watched a bunch of channels. Luthie's got to go. Hey, it's cool hanging out with you, man. Thanks for
Dude, his
chilling out.
thumbnails are fucking good too.
Yeah, he's really good. Like, and that was the thing that blew my mind about Shapes too. Like, his video essay was phenomenal, right? So Shapes, for what he does, like most of the time, what he does is he critiques videos from people who make content on anime. It's called the Digest, right? So it's just him sitting in front of a camera and going over YouTube videos. He's critiqued ours quite a few times. He's very fair. Like if he doesn't like it, he doesn't fucking like it, and he'll tell you, you know. And if he does like it, he'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Um,
I really like hearing what he has to say about our videos because he won't pull punches.
mhm.
Uh, but also when he really likes something, he's also very good at describing why.
Yes, and that's the kind of
Um,
feedback that we need from people.
yeah,
So on it,
except for when he's trying to describe our secret formula. Is what he called it. He's like, they have an invisible formula, and I
yeah,
don't know what it is, but it's there.
yeah, he's like, all of Bonsai Pop's videos are undeniably Bonsai Pop, but I don't know what that means. And to be fair, I don't know what that means either. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's the kind of feedback that we're always looking for. So if you email bonsaipopteam@gmail.com as a fan of the podcast and let us know what you think about the podcast, that would really help us out. And if you were real about it and you're fair about it, like, you know, please do that, because real actual feedback is something that people on YouTube, people as podcasters, et cetera, lack. We lack the feedback. Um, and it's always good because Shabes really helped revolutionize this channel, and he didn't do it on purpose. It was just some of the
yeah.
points he meant were very fucking astute.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know if we talked about that, but specifically our Bleach video was that turning point.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where like we had been doing for what, like a year and a half or something like that. We had been doing weekly content releases.
Yeah, just
Uh,
grinding
yeah,
videos out.
and it's a grind because like that means like especially for something like Shonember, you got to watch a fucking shonen in a week and write a script on it and edit it. Good fucking luck, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then when you're doing four of them,
yep,
you have to pick things that you already know so that you don't have to watch them again. But if you don't watch them again, you're not going to pick up on the things that you should be picking up on because it's been a while, you know?
yeah,
You're going off of memory. There's a bunch of reasons, but anyway, his review of our Bleach video really helped us be uh more in tune with what we wanted in the channel and being like, you know what, maybe trying to put out weekly content isn't necessarily the best thing for us.
yeah. It helped us double down on the fuck YouTube idea, basically,
Yeah.
where like YouTube wants you to produce. Like if you make a channel and put out a video every day that is on somewhat of the same topic. I mean, we've seen this happen. Axel did it with Inuyasha.
Mm-hmm.
He put out a video on Inuyasha every day for like a month and a half, and his channel just like fucking went through the roof.
Oh yeah, he
And
was getting more views than we were with
what, like
10%
10?
of the subscribers.
Yeah, yeah, which he gained during that time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so if you can do that, like, you'll probably do all right. But you're not going to be able to make the kind of substantial content that somebody like Beyond Ghibli does, or somebody that iPatchWolf does. And that's why people like us rely on Patreon, because, you know, we need, like, we have a desire to create better and better things.
Mm-hmm.
But YouTube does not allow for that. YouTube demands that you are constantly pushing out. They don't care if you're getting a lot of views per video. They care if you're making a lot of videos and getting a lot of views because you're making a lot of videos. Putting out
Right.
one video every day and getting 1,000 to 10,000 views per video will net you more views than we get in a month generally.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Almost always, unless we have a video that like really explodes, like our Dora Hetero video.
Yeah. Yep. So,
Yeah, it's crazy, and every video is also another possibility for people to see your content and then be like, oh, I want to support this content, and then join the Patreon. We got way more patrons while we were producing content weekly than we do now.
mhm.
We had a huge influx right when we said that we were going to an alternate schedule of, whenever a video's ready, that's when it's coming out, essentially.
Mhm.
But not weekly. And our Patreon has dropped back down from that boost to where it was beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. Which isn't bad. Like, we're not dying by any
No, no,
stretch of the
no.
imagination, but we would like that level of support back, and we're going to work to get that level of support back. I have a couple videos planned for December. We'll probably
Mm-hmm.
do another thing where we kind of take January off, but this time we're going to do it to spend more time with the patrons. Because it's just not worth releasing in January, honestly.
Right.
So we can get
And
ready for
also,
videos.
yeah, we can watch a bunch of stuff. We can prepare for the next few months. Like, it gives us a break from editing, which is very easy to burn out on if you're doing it all the time.
Hmm.
Which, like, this month we're supposed to get 4 videos out. And we'll see if that happens.
Yeah,
Um,
Monster is going to be really difficult.
yeah,
Um, and I started watching Mononoke last night, and you're right.
yeah.
It's that is a
It's
fucking
fucking
weird
weird,
anime,
dude.
and
It's fucking weird.
I don't know if I can, like, I mean, again, I'm only an episode or so in, because I fell
Yep.
asleep because I'd been up since 2 a.m. yesterday. It was like 11:30 when I started watching it, but
Mm-hmm.
PM. But
Yep.
yeah, it's we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to get a couple more episodes in to see if I can recommend it to people, because it is that weird.
It's weird, dude. I mean, I'm only 2 episodes in. I'm planning on watching like a good amount today. You
Mhm.
know, either like the rest of it or almost all of it. But like, it's Monday. We're supposed to get that video out on Friday or Saturday?
It's Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday. You're right. 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 But we're supposed to get that video out. Let me check the schedule really quick. We're supposed to get that video out on Friday. So we got less than a week. So we got to know for sure uh today, basically, if
Yeah.
it's worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth doing.
I think so too.
Definitely. Yeah, like the way
I
that
think it'll be the only video on YouTube about that anime.
yeah. And the thing about it is, like, the way I would describe it is like, think about like Persona,
Mm-hmm.
like the weird, like, what's the word, surrealness of Persona, and then turn that into like Japanese painting, and that is kind of the look of Mononoke. It's very, very strange.
Yeah, and,
Um,
and the feel is like a horror mushishi,
yeah, it's
you know?
it's yeah, with like the weird stilted dialogue of like one of those like animated, anime independent films. It's very odd. It's super
Mm-hmm.
odd.
We've
But
just kind of
also,
gone into anime.
Huh?
By the way, we just kind of gone into our anime section.
Oh well, we're talking about like upcoming things. We're not talking necessarily about like what we watched or did, but um, as far as like news about like what's going around in the world and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
so the Supreme Court had overturned the Texas law for like a certain amount of time, and then that got returned back over. So the abortion law is back instated in Texas. Um,
Oh
so
boy.
that's a fucking shame. We went into that in detail. But basically, like, women's bodies are their own fucking business, and abortion is a human right. It's a human fucking right,
Yep. Yep.
and human rights are being squashed in Texas. So if there's anything that anybody can do for that, even if it's just a tweet like, "Hey, this is fucked up," you should do that. You gotta stay active about things, and not to the point where like you're relentless and like you're losing fucking followers because you're constantly bumming people out. But like if enough people shout once in a
It's
while,
about like having a vocal majority.
mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be something that you're like every day talking about, but the more people who talk about it more often, the better.
Yeah, and men, if you are like, well, I'm a guy, I don't care. You know what I mean? You should care because it affects the women in your life. Moms, sisters, daughters, like friends, all of it. Like because it's none of our business, we
Mm-hmm.
should support it being none of our business.
Yeah,
And
and it can affect future people in your life that you don't know yet.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And honestly, dude, if you knock up a chick who doesn't want to have your baby, that's not like too bad. You know what I mean? Like it's too
Well,
bad.
assuming she can get the abortion, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's too bad. It's not a one person. You can't make that choice. You don't know what it's like to be pregnant. You don't know what it's like to give birth. There's complications. People can die. It's 8-9 months of a lot of changes, a lot of destruction
Mm-hmm.
potentially to somebody's body. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
I mean, your body can irreversibly change from giving birth.
yeah. And if you wanted to have a kid, then you're with the wrong person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If that person doesn't want to have a kid and you want to have a kid, like you're with the wrong
Maybe
person.
should have talked about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it's just Alpha says even if you're a person who supports certain policies, it's not fair as a man without a uterus to have laws about it, uterus affecting politics. Exactly. Well put.
Yeah, I
Well
think
put.
I wonder if I can find it because I remember I saw something that was like so succinct in describing how fucked up this is and why, but I don't remember when I saw it, so it would probably take me a while to find.
It's all good. But yeah, so one of the other things that happened is I'm not gonna get any of the names right because I just don't have it in front of my face, but I think we all remember a while back there was a black man who was shot to death in the back by a police officer in Wisconsin in front of his family. That police officer got off on self-defense. Now, I don't understand how that's fucking possible because if somebody has their back to you and is running away,
Mm-hmm.
that is not an attack.
And I assume was also completely unarmed. Like,
Likely. I mean, again, I don't want to say anything that I don't know for sure, but yeah. So Wisconsin did not. Let me see. Wisconsin cop. Uh, wow. Wisconsin cop planting evidence. Wisconsin cop plants drugs in car.
oh
Wisconsin
no,
cop
it's like
plants drugs
Florida
on
man.
men. Yeah.
oh no.
Not guilty. Okay. No charges against.
The fact that you searched Wisconsin cop and then had to be more specific is a horrifying fact.
Okay, so it was Kenosha, and the man didn't die, but he is paralyzed for life.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So the file charges against a Wisconsin prosecutor declined Tuesday to file charges against a white police officer who shot a black man in the back, concluding he couldn't disprove the officer's contention that he acted in self-defense because he feared the man would stab him. The decision met with swift criticism from civil rights advocates, as it should, and public officials. Well, that's good. They threatened to reignite protests that rocked the city after the August 23rd shooting that left Jacob Blake paralyzed. Governor Tony Evers, a Democrat, called the decision further evidence that our work is not done and called for people to work together for equality. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who is black and more pointed on Twitter, says, "I wish I could say that I'm shocked. It's another instance in a string of misapplications of justice." Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, it's good that he's alive, but at the same time, it's like, you know,
I mean, it's just like you've completely destroyed this man's way of life. For the rest of his life, not to mention the recovery, how much he's going to have to pay to be able to do anything now,
hospital bills,
hospital bills, and then,
ramps.
I assume that he can't take care of himself in the same way now, so he probably needs help for that if he's, if he doesn't have, like, somebody at home. Like, it's just...
This is also a man in the prime of his life, and paralysis can, I mean... depends on how low that numbness goes, you know what I mean? Like, fucking dangling doesn't work anymore. That is a lifetime of fucking sex that was taken away from you, release. Like, that's fucking harsh. That is really, really harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's upsetting, Yeah.
Also, cops wear, like, fucking armor and, like, know how to defend themselves against somebody with a knife. It doesn't really sound like... It doesn't, and the guy was running away. So, I mean, I don't see how this prosecutor, like, wouldn't go through with the charges, because, like, that's enough evidence. He was running, he got shot in the fucking back. He shot him in the back.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It blows my mind every time we hear something like this, and it's just like, how unbelievably fucked is our justice system?
Yeah. And if you're out there being skeptical, being like, well, we don't really know what happened. Imagine if a black cop shot a white person in the back. How different that would go. Just think about that. Just chew on that while we move on.
Yeah.
There's a big oil spill in California.
Boy.
Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Oh, dude, like thousands of gallons.
I haven't had time for fucking news, man.
That's fair. Thousands of gallons of oil have spilled out from Orange County. Pipeline got cut by, sounds like it was an anchor. So, like, the California coast is just fucked right now. People are trying to save the wildlife.
Did I ever tell you about the oil rigs between San Diego and Santa Barbara?
No.
So I used to go to UCSB for college, and I lived in San Diego. I grew up in San Diego. So they're like 4 hours away, or, if you're smart and avoid traffic correctly, like 3. But near the end, if you're going from San Diego to Santa Barbara, you're driving along the coast, because that's where the freeway is. And if you're coming at night, you'll see out on the water what looks like Santa's sleigh and his reindeer. Mm-hmm. And it's just fucking oil rigs. There's like a giant fucking oil rig that looks like a sleigh, and then it looks like there's like 3 sets of reindeer in front of it.
Jeez. Like side by side?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks just like a Santa and his reindeer going up there at night every single time. In the morning, it's like, oh, well, those are fucking oil rigs. But at night, they all light up and shit, and it's just like, it's very Christmassy, and it's really weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Especially considering, like, San Diego is, like, the least Christmassy place in the world.
Well, this is closer to Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay. I mean, even still, Southern California
but still,
in general.
Yeah, it's the same place, yeah.
Christmas and palm trees just, like, kind of makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, I mean, for fucking Australia, isn't Christmas always in the summer?
Yeah, it's weird.
I think that's great.
I don't like it.
I think everybody should spend a year in Australia and experience everything opposite.
Yeah.
Toilets flush backwards. Christmas is in the wrong season. Like, I think that's a great idea.
Everything is out to kill you.
People walk backwards.
Birds constantly attack you.
You have to say your sentences in reverse.
Put in a funny accent. um so we had a thing. We got offered $5,000 to do Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't take it. So
Yeah.
The Patreon was okay with it. The Patreon said, "Do it, bro. Do it." But I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I also was I was on the fence but leaning towards no, and the more I thought about it, the more I was on the no side.
Yeah.
I actually had a fairly long talk. I can't remember with who I was talking to. I think it was Wiley and maybe Charles too. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, or Black Hat Scarf. I don't remember. Point is, I had a talk with some of our patrons about it, because they were all like, "Yeah, you should probably go for it." And I described the fact that it's like, well, we have to think about it more than just like, oh man, this is an easy sponsorship, you know? Like, a big thing about our channel is the authenticity, and specifically with sponsors, we only pick sponsors that we actually like. Like, we're really, really picky on our sponsors. And is it worth a quick $5,000 to give that up?
I mean, the thing is I had plans to make my way around that. I had very funny plans. And, you know, like, I still have those plans in the back of my mind. Basically, like, and the thing is we need that $5,000. Like
I mean,
that,
it wouldn't hurt.
Like, I need it. You know, I just got a car. I have something depending on me now, you know, other than just my girlfriend. You know, like, I needed that money. But it's, you know, again, there's a certain amount of integrity. I asked them for I told them $7,000 was as low as I would go. And they came back with 5, and I'm sorry, just no, can't do it.
And by the way, our normal sponsorships cost too.
Don't. Yeah. I mean, well, the thing is like, you know, the way that I look at that is it's basically the same thing, you know, as like a Walmart or a Target type of deal, right? These are companies that have an outrageous amount of extra money to do whatever they want, you know?
Yeah,
so
I mean, Raid has a ridiculous amount of money coming in, because, I mean, their game has a shitload of microtransactions. You know? I've played it to see what it's like.
Well, we did sponsorships for it back on Tree School.
Well, yeah, but back on Tree School, when I played it, I played it before we ever did the sponsorships, too.
Yeah.
You know? I haven't played it in fucking years, but before we ever took sponsorships for it on Treesicle, I played it to at least see, is it fun? Is there an enjoyable aspect to it? And the answer is, yeah, there is. It's just that, you know, there are a lot of things that you can buy and pay for in that game. You know, to make it go faster, to make your life easier, etc., etc.
Yeah. I'm actually going to respond to them right now while this is on my mind. I'm just going to say, hi, blank. Yeah, that's how you spell
I feel
that.
like this should have been on the Patreon podcast, but you know,
no, it's
whatever.
fine. Well, because I want the more average, you know, like, participant to like understand a little bit how we do things. So I'm saying, hi, blank.
This is typically talk that we sort of reserve for the Patreon exclusive podcast. That's more behind the scenes, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I appreciate the offer, but when I said X amount is the lowest we could go, I really meant that. Should capitalize your eyes. If you're emailing people, by the way, guys, make sure you use good punctuation and capitalization.
Yeah. And for people who don't know, like, Raid has been emailing us since we started the channel. Like, years at this point. And every time they email us, we increase the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally every single time we increase it by $1,000.
Yeah. So yeah, so I appreciate the offer, but when I said X amount was the lowest that we could go, I really meant that. Unfortunately, your offer isn't something that we can agree to. However, our original offer still stands. If you and the team change your minds, we would love to discuss it in the future. Best
because like if we could get a price that high, it would probably be worth it.
Yeah. Well,
and,
also,
and we would make a fucking hilarious ad also.
Oh yeah. I already have. I have this like. I have this really, really, really funny idea that I can't talk about right now in case we do the ad, because it would be what's the word? Anyway, I just want everybody to know right now, if we do ever work with them, we will be doing it facetiously. It will be satirical. I want you to know that Raid Shadow Legends is not a game that any of you should ever play. I do not agree with games that have microtransactions. I do not agree with games that work to toy with people that have,
gambling addictions,
any kind of neurodivergency, right? Like,
sure.
anything, anybody with addictive personalities, anybody with obsessive compulsive disorder, anybody with ADHD, anybody that has gambling issues, anybody that is autistic, like, these games are built to fuck with those people specifically.
Yeah, and it's just taking advantage of them.
Yeah, because they don't make their money off of everybody spending a little money. They make their money off of a few people spending a ridiculous amount of money. Like, these games have ruined people's lives, and a lot of people can't wrap their heads around that. But
it's like, if anybody ever watched Odd Taxi, it's like the guy in Odd Taxi who plays that game like fucking religiously on his phone. It's basically that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's people get addicted to it. It's like, there is a mentally stimulating aspect to opening randomized boxes, hoping to get what you get, or what you want to get.
Dude.
And then when you get what you want to get, it makes you want to do it more, because then you trust in the system better.
Yeah, dude. I was playing Naraka the other week, and every so often you get like one of their immortal treasures, which is a loot box. And I got a gold skin for the character that I play, and I literally fucking screamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I actually screamed with excitement, and then afterwards I was like, holy shit, I fucking screamed because I got a skin in a game.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
And I mean, the thing is, too, is that these microtransactions are getting so bold. So fucking bold. In Pokemon Unite, there is a $40 skin, bro. Skin.
I know. I saw Arlo's video on it.
Yeah. This is a game for kids. Okay, Pokemon is kids stuff, right? I love Pokemon. I'm sure lots of you love Pokemon, but we can all agree that Pokemon is a game that it is a series of franchise that is aimed at children. A $40 fucking skin? That is polygons. That is color changes. It just on top of the thing that you already have. That is out fucking outrageous. Despicable. It is absolutely despicable. And it's not okay. And Raid Shadow Legends is that same kind of thing. So if we do end up working with them, know that we are literally doing it for the money, and I will reference people back to this podcast.
Yeah. And also know that if they ever listen to this podcast, we'll never get that sponsorship.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's not true. Because
you don't think
we don't know, because nobody works with Raid Shadow Legends. They work with companies that work with Raid Shadow Legends.
That's
so every time,
completely true.
Yeah. So every time that so when they first messaged us, or I think the first time we responded to it, we had like 40,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we'll do it for $1,500, right? Because you have to wager, around where you are, right? So, view wise and stuff like that. And we were like, yeah, we'll offer 1,500. And then as we kept growing, they kept messaging us, different companies, and being like, hey, you want to work with Rain, blah, blah, blah. And every time I would up it $1,000. Right now we're at $8,000. Next time we're going to be like, yeah, $8,000, please. And, like basically we were given advice from our friend who's very good at marketing to just keep doing that because eventually someone will bite.
Yep.
And the thing is go for it.
I actually forgot about this, but like I was talking about this with some of our patrons because most people don't know how YouTube sponsorships work. And Raid is different from most of them. Most of the time, you work directly with the brand. Like when we work with Figurama collectors, we are talking to people who work at Figurama collectors. Mm-hmm. When we work with Boxu, we are talking with people who work at Boxu.
Actually, I don't think we are.
Are we not?
No, I think we're going through an independent company.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Unless Boxu is made by MakerWatch.
Oh.
Yeah. But it worked out for us.
It did, yeah. It actually worked out quite well, yeah.
Baby, okay, turn that down.
But anyway, most of the time, you end up working with the company directly, and that's the best way to do it. Because if you're working with the company directly, you know that there's no middleman. There's nothing happening in between you where they're taking a cut. When you're working with a middleman, like with Raid, what's actually happening is you say, hey, I'm okay with $4,000, let's say, right? And what the company does is they then go to or the middleman goes to the company and says, hey, they'll do it for $6,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that they make $2,000 off of your sponsorship as the middleman.
Right.
So then the expectations are even higher. They still get paid, but you might not get a return sponsorship because you didn't meet the requirements that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah. Which if we do
work
with Raid,
them to be lower.
Yeah, if we do work with Raid Shadow Legends, we will. I hope we don't get a single download.
I would be amazed if we got downloads. Like,
yeah.
I'm amazed they're still they must still be getting people to download off of YouTube because they're still promoting it. It just blows my mind with the stereotype that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worse than, what was that old game that used to be like just as bad? Game of War? Was that it?
Something like that. There's been a tank game. There's been that, yada, yada. Other thing I want to point out, just because it's on my mind right now, do not buy Raycons. Okay, those are shit headphones. Anyway. What was the it was like war games or like King of the Castle or some
not
fucking
Clash
shit.
of Clans. There's an actual, I think it was called Game of War because it was the most generic Game of War. Game of War Fire Age. That was it.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. But yeah, basically, whenever we possibly can, we want to work directly with the company. Like with G Fuel, our partnership with them, we have a handler at G Fuel who we talk to about, when our code goes up to 30%. Sometimes he's just like, yeah, it's going up today. And we're like, oh, okay.
Speaking of which, all hydration formula is in stock and our code is 30% off. So code bpop.
Is it right now still?
It should be. I mean, it's only been a couple days.
Well, it only lasts for like 4 typically. Anyway, point is, yeah, hydration stuff is all in stock right now. Now's the time to get it. Bpop code, 30% off. Good stuff.
Or 10% if it's not at 30. But it's still good. Still good deal.
Omni's got Phaseberry coming. Phaseberry's so good.
Phaseberry.
I don't know why Phase gets the best flavors. It's annoying, but it's so good.
One day we'll get a flavor.
I hope so. That'd be sick.
No, I will get a Bonsai Pop flavor. It's gonna be called.
Well, we gotta keep making sales for us to keep our contract long term. So we'll see.
True.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. You just never want to work with a middleman company if you can help it. But some companies don't allow you to work directly with them. Raid is one of those companies. They only work directly through middlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So you can never work with Raid. You have to work with somebody else first.
And never take their first offer because they are always going to lowball you immediately. You have to be a business person. Like people are like, oh yeah, fucking YouTubers, they just sit around and fucking watch TV and then edit stupid little videos. And it's like, no, that's not how, that is so that is such a trivialization of what we do. It, like, we are social media managers. We are like part-time fucking comedians. We are photographers. We are filmographers. We are fucking writers. We are businessmen.
And then there's the editing. And then there's the music on top of that. And then there's the fucking... Do you know how much money you can make as an independent CEO consultant? We have to do all that too.
Yeah.
We have to do all of our own SEO work and shit. I think I said CEO. SEO consultant. Search engine optimization. In case people don't know what that is. I have gotten paid by other people to help them start their channels and get them into good places because I know how to do the YouTube algorithm. Yep. And that's not a well-known thing. It's actually a skill that you can grow and learn.
And it's a reason why a lot of people who start channels never get anywhere. And like that was what happened with my first channel. I didn't fucking understand. I had gone from zero social media to all the social media, and I had no idea what I was doing. Literally, like I didn't get Twitter until like 2014. You know, like I like the only thing I'd ever done was like MySpace and a little bit of Facebook.
We're still not on TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Devin has an idea about taking our scripts, and then condensing them, and then just being like, "Hey, Mike, time to film," and just like I just read that, like what she said, and just making little TikToks out of that, basically.
I mean, we can try it. Like, TikTok is one of those things where it's just like, I don't know shit about it. It's not my forte, but I'm down. If you want to try something, we can give it a shot.
Yeah. Basically, just make something like, you know, you can make like a mental health TikTok. You know what I mean? Like through anime.
Dude, we can finally do our anime therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like something good, something helpful, you know. But anyway, that's all in the future. Tyler, how was your anime week?
Well, Mike, you know, it's been a long week for me, so I haven't done a lot of watching.
Yeah, it has been a long ass fucking stupid week.
Yeah, it's been a very long week. But mainly what I've watched this week, I watched Mononoke. I've watched some of that. I'm going to be watching more of it. I was hoping to watch more before the next podcast, but it just didn't happen. Because yesterday I decided to watch a shitload of Star Wars.
Oh, really?
I have watched, over the last, like, 2 weeks, 6 Star Wars movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. The 2 trilogies, or
yes,
the first 3 and the second 3?
No. So I watched the original trilogy, and then I watched Disney's new trilogy.
Is this your first time watching Disney's new trilogy?
No, second time.
Okay. All right.
And I had the exact same opinion of it as I did the first time. The original trilogy is still phenomenal. It's still really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie that Disney made, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
The Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens is the best one that they made.
Right.
It's the closest one to Star Wars. It's funny, you know, it has good character development and good characters in general. Mm-hmm. And then they just get progressively worse.
Okay. All right.
And then I watched whatever the Rise of Skywalker last night, and I just think that movie sucks.
That's the last one. That's 9.
It's the last one, and it's just like things keep fucking coming out of nowhere, man. It's like, oh, we gotta find a thing. Oh, we fell into a thing and found a dagger that we were looking for, and then the dagger's gonna leave. It's just like, I feel like everything is a fucking coincidence in that movie that gets them to the end of the movie, and the plot is just like so fucking out there.
Yeah. So let me like give you a little bit of context, right? So, the first trilogy is really interesting because a lot of things happen in between the movies that aren't talked about, right?
Right.
Within the movies.
Which is the idea of the opening scroll, is to catch you up on what has happened, because they aren't back to back. It's not Lord of the Rings, you know, you're not picking up where you left off.
Exactly. So there are, I think it's like a year to like 6 months in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. right? So basically the rebels have left Yavin because they know,
Right.
the Empire knows that they're there, and they've relocated on Hoth.
Right.
But there's 5 years in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, where Luke goes off on his own and, does his as much Jedi training as he possibly can. And somewhere in between there, he, makes a new lightsaber and decides that he's officially a Jedi.
Right.
And then, so like going
And
from
then Yoda's
Empire,
like, not until you face Vader.
yeah,
And then dies.
So, like, somewhere in between there, like, I would imagine the first time watching Empire and then Jedi, there must have been a little bit of a shock. It's like, oh, Luke's lightsaber is green now, and like all sorts of shit. So, when in the end of Return of the Jedi, there's this fight between Luke and Darth Vader, right? And Luke, at one point, he starts hammering on Darth Vader, just like hammering him.
It's a fucking great fight because, like, you can see the anger that literally the fucking the Emperor's been talking about this whole time. Like, like you can feel it,
Yeah.
And then you see Luke's realization of what's happening.
Yep.
When he cuts off Vader's hand, and then he looks at his own hand, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm becoming him."
Yeah.
Well,
he went to the dark side, during that fight.
Like but it's done so well in that fight. You know what I mean? The audience can follow it without any dialogue of Luke being like, "Wow, I was really in the dark zone there." You know, like you can see the realization come over him because his father cut off his hand, he cuts off his father's hand. They both have fake hands, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm becoming my dad." You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's great. And that is where the timelines split. So you can either follow the Legends or you can follow Disney, right? So in Legends, after that, Han and Leia get married. They have 2 kids, Jason and Jaina, who both become fucking badass Jedi, right? And Jaina ends up becoming the sword of the Jedi much later, much like towards the end of Legends, like where they ended up cutting it off when Disney purchased Star Wars. Now, the Sword of the Jedi is a big deal. Mace Windu was the Sword of the Jedi, and Mace Windu had powers that they never showed in the movies. They only showed it in the first Clone Wars animation, the one that was done by the Samurai Jack people. So there's this Jedi skill that only the Sword of the Jedi can use called Shatterpoint, where basically through the use of the Force, you can see polygonally where everything connects, and you can find the spot within these polygons that will break it, shatter it, and you just like tap it and it's just like pow. And that's how she's able to defeat Mandalorians. But because the Mandalorian armor is made out of like this ridiculous stuff, I think it's called Mandalite or something like that, and she can shatter Mandalorian armor with just a poke, right? And
that's dope.
Yeah, it's super cool, dude. And Luke becomes, the Jedi Grand Master. But there is this part where Luke, the Emperor comes back. This is in a comic series, but it is referenced in the books. Like all the comics and the books kind of went together. Post Return of the Jedi, there's a lot that's all Old Republic shit that I never paid attention to because I didn't like that stuff. But there's a comic where the Emperor comes back, and he literally turns Luke to the dark side, makes him his apprentice. And, there's this core world like way, way in the center of the galaxy where the Emperor has been sitting and biding his time with these clones, and he's been building this new empirical fleet, and he's ready to come out and take over the fucking galaxy and stuff like that. And then, eventually Luke and Leia and some of the newer Jedi come in and foil that plot, and the Emperor is finally gone for good. So when The Force Awakens came out, right, and Rey was, this girl who's separated from her parents. She was left on Tatooine. She's, very powerful in the Force.
Jakku, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was that what it was? Jakku. Okay, my bad. I've only watched them all once. And then you have Ben Solo, otherwise known as what the fuck, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah. So you have Ben Solo. Now the funny thing is that Luke his son in the Legends was named Ben. He was Ben
Right.
Skywalker, right? And Han and Leia had a youngest named Anakin. But anyway, so Ben Solo shows up, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, they're doing Jason and Jaina. Like, fucking Kylo Ren and Rey are twins.
Mm.
They're Han and Leia's kids, right? And then they go into the next movie, and there's that weird part where like Rey and Kylo Ren start working together, and they're fucking like fucking up the Emperor's guards and shit like that, or I guess
Mm-hmm.
they're Snoke's guards or whatever. And it
Yeah,
was
the red
really,
dudes.
yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like they're like friends now, they're like partners or some shit. Like, it's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyway, so the second movie, I think for me, what I liked the most about it was the beginning, the use of the B wings, which that was fucking sick. Like, I love B wings. They're Mon Calamari starships, and the ship like revolves around the cockpit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're bombers. They're really
Right.
really
Yeah.
cool. So anyway, and then the fight on that one place. Remember when we used to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot? The red
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the fucking walkers, and then Luke's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. The
fucking,
the salt place, right?
yeah,
Like
so
it's covered in
cool.
salt, but then like the dirt is red underneath.
Yeah, that was so fucking metal, dude. That was such a good like scene.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but then the third movie comes in, and there's so much going on. And it's crazy, there's like this like weird bounty
Well,
hunter
yeah.
chick, and like,
That's the thing is that like it never stops. They're introducing new fucking people left and right. Like in the third movie, it is like they never catch a breath.
yeah,
It's just they're going from place to place looking for things. Suddenly Lando's in it. Okay, he's in the movie for the rest of the fucking thing. Now there's this bounty hunter chick. Apparently Poe has a love interest. Now there's a new droid. Apparently the droid's important. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like
yeah.
so many new things
And they
happening
phased out
all the
that Asian
fucking
chick
time.
in such a cowardly move. Like, that was the one
Yeah.
biggest issue I had, was that they were just like, yeah, fucking, what's his face?
Rose.
Yeah,
Rose and Finn had this like
yeah,
relationship thing going in the second one, then the third one, just gone.
yeah,
Rose wasn't even a character. I mean, like she was there for like
yeah.
2 scenes.
But honestly, to me, the last movie was my favorite because they stopped the pretense of it being a Star Wars film and just went with it being a Marvel film. And it was very, very good as a comic book movie, because it essentially was a comic book movie. It was a retelling of the comic that I told you about before, when Luke turns to the dark side. They used a lot from that comic, including, the Emperor coming back using clones, the core
Mm-hmm.
planet, the empirical like army that he had been building. A lot of that was used from the Legends, and it was ridiculous, but it was fun. I think a lot of people were expecting,
Oh,
this.
I mean, it was a ridiculous movie with a lot of shit going on. It was fun. It's just like it wasn't Star Wars, and I get what you're saying. No,
Yeah,
it wasn't Star Wars. It was Marvel, and
it
that
was.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
You know,
it was like a Star Wars spin-off. And that's kind
but
of the
it,
way that I've looked at this trilogy, is like it's a spin-off. And
but it
it's,
was like it didn't start completely as a spinoff. Like the first movie, they tried to be like this is Star Wars.
mm,
And then the second one, like I mean, it's just fucking Mark Hamill stole the show every time he was on screen in the second
mm,
one. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mhm.
Like he was just fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
And
it was
that's,
fun to watch Luke just being fucking Luke, but like older and more cynical.
yeah, the most jaded Luke Skywalker ever.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing, is like, I understand where the writers were going with Luke, because in Legends, Luke became this like Luke was like so fucking badass, dude. Like, he was like, there was like, Luke just like, I can't even explain the fucking Dragon Ball Z-esque power level shit that, he ended up with. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Luke could have destroyed the universe if he wanted to. He was like that fucking powerful. But it was awesome. It was Luke Skywalker. He was the hero. He was the wise one. He became the Yoda beyond Yoda. He was great. And a lot of it ended up being about, his kid, and, Han and Leia's kids, and, you know, um, all sorts of stuff. But regardless, like, this was a different way of envisioning Luke's future, because Luke was never in the first trilogy. Luke was always flying by the seat of his pants. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, he was making it up as he went along, the best he possibly could, and he was too old to begin the training. You know, honestly,
Right.
like, there was a lot of fucking shit that he had to deal with that he never was able to. I mean, the second that he turned 18, like, he was off to fucking war, you know, and dealing with this philosophical conundrum of the force and all the energy in the fucking universe, and seeing the future, and dealing with it, you know, fucking murdering his dad,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you
and then
know,
finding
like,
out that Vader is his father and everything. Yeah, I mean, he's dealing with a lot. It would make sense that he would have some trauma involved with that.
yeah, I mean, Obi-Wan just fucking, like, lets himself be killed right in front of his fucking eyes, like, you know, like, his master is just like, just yeets himself out of existence right in front of him. He's like, you're on your own, kid, you know, until, like,
Oh yeah,
Force Ghost starts
and
showing up.
Fragile's right, and he sees his aunt and uncle just dead. You know,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
burned to a fucking crisp.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
skeletons. On
yeah,
the
like,
fucking-
I mean, honestly, it makes no fucking sense. Still funny.
yeah,
But like, if you think about all the shit that Luke went through, they could have made a really dark movie. Like,
yeah, yeah.
they
And
chose to make it lighter for a more universal audience, which I get. I understand that. I feel like My Hero is the same way in that respect. A lot of stuff that has happened in My Hero could be darker.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and
But
my hero,
that's for like almost every shonen. Also, you
yeah,
know, like Fairy Tail. If Fairy Tail got dark, it would be better. Like, it's just shonen in general is like, yeah, but friendship.
yeah. And Star Wars is a shonen.
Yeah,
It's, you
essentially,
know,
it's shonen Buddhism. Yeah,
it's a power fantasy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, this kid from nowhere, like, finds out that he has superpowers, and with the power of him and his friendship with, you know, a badass and a pretty lady, he fucking saves the universe. You know,
yeah.
like, it's
And by the way, this isn't to say that I think that My Hero should have been darker. I like My Hero the way it is. I just don't watch it anymore because people are too ridiculous about it.
yeah. I'll wait till it's over and then I'll catch up.
Yeah,
once people-
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. I stopped watching it like season 3 because we made like 2 videos on it, and people were like, "Mah!" You know, like,
Yeah.
they got down our throats about it, and we were
Yeah,
like, okay, well, we'll see you later.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Omni says the Yuzon Bong series is his favorite after for the After and Legends. Yeah. The Yuzon Bong are fucking crazy, dude. They come from another galaxy. And everything
fun.
everything that they use is organic. So their ships are actually creatures.
Living, yeah.
Yeah, and the way that they're able to travel intergalactically is their ships have these fucking gravity locks. So they're able to lock onto, like, a star or some kind of gravitational impulse from very, very, very far away. Think of it like a spider shooting a web, and basically zip lining to it faster than light speed, like faster than hyperspace, right? Because light speed is slow as fuck, but hyperspace is in between light speed. These guys can go faster than hyperspace, so they, you know, zip over, and it's culture shock, right? Because they're planet
Right.
destroyers. They send down these, like, fucking, you know, again, bioweapons to the core of planets, and these bioweapons suck up all the energy of the core and explode the planets, and they're masochists, right? So they're all, like, disfigured. You know, they're tall, they're super fucking strong, but, like, the way of their religion is to get into this thing called the embrace of pain, which dislocates, like, all your fucking joints and, like, cuts you up and shit like that, and that's how they meditate. It's crazy.
Fuck.
Dude, Star Wars is fucking sick, bro.
I was about to say, Star Wars gets a little metal when you
It's
get outside
metal
the
as
movies, huh?
Dude,
Like,
yeah, and that's the other thing too, is, like, nobody's fucking safe either. Like, you know, like, characters you think, like, are gonna go on and on and on and on, maybe not. So it's really fucking interesting. I highly recommend getting into the Legends books. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's this one scene that I'll never forget from one of the Legends books where a Padawan basically, finally I believe he's from a hive-minded race, right? So the Force is kind of fucking with him because he doesn't know how to be an individual. You know, he's a
That's
we.
such an interesting idea. A
Yeah.
Jedi from a hive mind race, like the fucking you have like a Borg Jedi. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what he ends up doing is they're the new Jedi Temple, before it gets relocated to Coruscant, um, is under attack by a super star destroyer. And through, I believe, through the Force and his entire race, he's able to fucking basically spirit bomb, um by grabbing the star destroyer and in space with the Force and fucking
He's on the
dragging it.
planet.
Yeah, he's on the planet. He grabs the star destroyer with the Force through space and drags it down to crash on the planet and dies doing it. He burns himself out.
Oh my
Like
god.
yeah, fucking metal, dude. Like it's so cool. And that's why, that's why with the movies, especially for people who've like checked out the Legends, it's like, oh, you could have done so much. You could have done so much.
Yeah, but it's the problem, right? It was like what community are you trying to hit? Are you trying to hit the largest possible audience, which most movies are, especially blockbuster movies, like Star Wars? Or are you trying to hit a particular audience that will get really invested,
Yeah.
And typically darker stuff in general is for a more specific audience. Not everybody likes it, We happen to like it. I think you tend to like more dark stuff than I do, but I still have like a good level of like, yeah, get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like
for me, like, it's morbid curiosity, I think, more than anything else. Like I listen to podcasts about serial killers and
like I would never listen to that. No interest at all. Don't want to have not my thing.
Yeah. For me, it's a fascination with the individual. Who, I mean, obviously, like one of the things that I like about the podcast is that they go into the victims and they give the victims a story. They allow the victims to be heard, which is really important because, generally serial killers like the Son of Sam, for example, they're glorified in a way as this person who's so famous because of the atrocities they committed. But the people that the atrocities were committed to are very important. And they all have stories, and oftentimes that's not heard and that's not fair, especially because back then they were allowed to make money off their stories. Serial killers were.
Right. So it's giving a highlight to the people who deserve it much more than the fucking serial killer.
Yeah. And the thing you find out, and the thing, like the most important thing about serial killers in general is that, they all, for the most part, have had horrendous fucking childhoods. I mean, Marilyn Manson, goddammit. Charles Manson, his mom was like so abusive. She fucking traded him for a beer to like stranger one time.
We put that in a video recently.
Yeah.
I don't remember for what exactly.
Yeah. And he
I think that was in the Ranma video, right?
Yeah,
we were talking about how bad Ranma's dad is.
Genma, yeah. Exactly. Genma. But yeah, Charles Manson spent like 90% of his life in jail in the 50s, 40s. So like, this is back when the prison system was just like, throw him in. Yeah. Let him survive. Yeah, exactly. So when he was let out, he didn't know how to be a person. And the thing is he was really smart, and he hung out with the fucking Beach Boys and shit, dude. Like the Beach Boys stole one of his songs.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like he was actually doing pretty well for himself. It wasn't until, whatever kind of shit came back where he decided that like there was a race war coming and like all this shit. And then, he started this cult and everything. That shit went off the hinges. But they were also doing this drug, dude. Like I don't remember what it's called, but you can actually just kind of find it out in the woods. Like it's a root. And you like bite into it and you will DMT trip for days.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like these people were out of their fucking minds, dude. Like, it's just fucking out of their. I can't remember what it's called. If I remember, I'll let you know. But yeah, it's just a root. Just a root. These
Weird.
people were fucking eating them, dude. Like you're supposed to make like tea
Just
out of it or
chowing
something.
down.
Yeah, literally like lethal doses of this shit. Like it was ridiculous.
Don't do that. That's yeah.
Yeah. That's how you become Charles Manson, basically. So for me,
Yikes.
I've been reading Monster. Speaking of serial killers, that's basically
How you liking that?
Oh, I love it. It's very it's good. It's really good. And you know there is good horror aspects to it. It's very Silence of the Lambsy kind of in a way.
Okay.
Which is great. Like we've never covered anything like that before. And to me it's fascinating because it takes place in Germany and there is so much German knowledge within the comic. Like this is not somebody who's just like, yeah, I want to take place in Germany and all, you know, blah blah blah. Like the mangaka, he definitely studied this shit. Like he studied geography, he studied the fucking maps and cities and
So
the
kind of
culture
like
and
I can't remember the name, but the mangaka who does Vinland Saga did.
yeah, very much so. Very, very, very much so. And not only that, but he also studied the politics of post uh the post, you know, I can't remember what the wall was called, but post Berlin, you know, post
The
split
Berlin
Berlin.
Wall.
Yeah, post Berlin Wall Germany in the 80s and 90s. So, you know, he's got these politics on point, and they're, you know, dealing with leftover like Nazi sympathizers and Turkish immigrants and like all sorts of stuff. It's fascinating. It's fucking fascinating.
Mhm.
So
Cole's asking any luck finding monster anime for clips. I have the entire monster anime downloaded in 480p.
archive, but
So
backed up. He downloaded it
yeah,
from his
from a
personal
backup.
DVDs. Yeah. Uh, what's it in? You said it was in 480p.
480, I believe.
Okay. Again, that should be fine for something that's in 4x3. Like
Yeah,
480 is like meant for 4x3, so we'll
yeah.
just do pick and pick. Charles says it's on YouTube, so that's good. So we can actually like point people to it. I mean, that's one of the biggest issues with anime, especially older anime, even though, you know, Monster's not that old. It's from like 2007, but I guess that's
It's getting up
14,
there.
15
It's
years
Monster
ago.
2000. I thought Monster was 2004.
Might be 2004. I'm sure
Mononoke
the
is 2007. I know that.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Monster
Monster's
might be.
2004.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, so it's interesting. But yeah, that's
we,
good.
we have a lot that we got to watch
Mm-hmm.
for this month.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm already like I'm already not only preparing for Shownember by watching Yu-Gi-Oh and God damn it, the other one we were gonna do totally Shaman King.
Yeah.
And reading Shaman King.
Mhm.
But also you know, preparing for our upcoming videos for Hellmouth, including Mononoke and Blood Sea. Blood Sea I'm really excited about. I think Blood Sea is just gonna be a fucking bloodbath, dude. I mean,
It's
I've
in the
seen the
name.
last episode, and
Okay.
holy fucking shit, dude! Like levels of which we like violence on levels that not even like a Rotsukadoshi fucking touched,
Jesus.
and not sexual violence,
Just violent.
just violence,
Like Helsing sorta or
yes, but more visceral, I would say. Like Helsing is very like fantastical. Like
Mhm.
this is like brutalization, you know? Like I feel
Yikes.
like a lot of the violence in Helsing was like, oh, people are just like melting, you know? Like this is like people are picked up and put into a fucking meat grinder en masse, you know?
Oh my
It's
god.
ridiculous. Alpha,
Well,
see you later, man. It was good hanging.
definitely a horror hellmouth
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, for sure. Um Other than that, yeah, I really haven't had time to watch much. I'm still keeping up to date on Eden and Deities, No Only Peace, but I think that I have an episode I haven't seen yet. I'm hoping that it goes for more than 12 episodes, because I think the episode I haven't seen is episode 12. So hopefully we'll get a 24 episode run. I can actually check that right now.
Yeah, I
And
was
while I
gonna
do
say,
that,
just look it up.
Tyler,
Yeah.
let's talk about video games.
Yeah, let's talk about video games. Because there's only one video game that we have to talk about.
Yep, but let's be
And
careful because it just came out, so let's
well,
not
yeah,
spoil
no
it.
spoilers, but I know that we have both been playing a fair amount of Metroid Dread.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm not like a seasoned Metroid player. I've played one other Metroid game, and it was years ago. I played Super Metroid on stream, I think.
Did you? Oh, really?
I think I streamed it, but I'm not positive. But I've definitely played Super Metroid forever ago, and like I barely remember it. I just know that I've played it and I enjoyed it. But fuck, man, if this is not a great game,
It is.
they really nailed it.
Yeah.
Omni says he's currently at the second real boss. I think I am very close to the second real boss. But the first boss fight I loved. It was one of the best like 2D boss fights I think I've ever done. It was really fun and like hard but fair, and like you got to sort of like learn what's going on and get the hang of it. Like it's really good. The controls are really slick. Movement feels great. Like the only thing that I don't think I like is when you pick up like items like you know, if you get like a missile like boost or something that gives you 2 extra missiles, it stays on your map. It just says that you picked it up. I wish it didn't stay on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's my main thing. Is like I already got that. I don't care where it is anymore. I'd like to see the ones that I haven't gotten.
Well, the thing about Metroid though is that like it's inherently a speedrun game. So after you can take screenshots of the map in you know, with the Switch. So when you go through it again, you'll know where all the items are. You know what I mean? Because like basically what you're supposed to do, and I don't know if this is the case because I haven't beaten the game yet, but generally Metroid has different endings depending on how fast you're able to play and how many items you got, right? So you're supposed to you're supposed to complete the entire map, and you're supposed to get all the items 100% in every single one of the maps. I like that each map has its own percentage. So, you know, you're not like, you don't have like 98% of the items and you don't know which fucking map the last 2 are in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's helpful. But
it is annoying because like, you know, I got like an upgrade like a little bit ago in like the 3rd area. That I remember it's like, oh, I'm gonna need that if I want to 100% this thing. I got to go all the way back to the 1st area, you know, to use this item at a specific spot to get something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm at the point where I believe I have all the upgrades, so I am now backtracking through everything to get 100% item completion. There are some items that, like, holy fucking shit, to get
complicated to get to them.
Not yeah, yes, let's just say like complicated to get to them. Like I don't think it spoils anything to say that you get the speed boost. You get the speed boost in every single fucking game. Okay, so like, you know, it's been a staple since like Metroid 2. There are speed boost blocks that you have to basically chart a course through multiple rooms to get to, because of the startup time to hit the speed boost, right? So like,
I haven't gotten that yet. I think I'm close to it. I know where you get it. But I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, dude. Some of them are brutal, but I did manage to sequence break relatively early in the game, which was neat.
Krona.
Really?
Yeah.
Using the speed boost, I sequence broke this like one spot, and it was like I had to fucking I had to run through this thing, stop, turn around, shoot up, go into this little hole, drop a bomb, blow up a brick, and then hit the fucking the spark shine spark or whatever it was to go flying up a fucking tube and out the other end. And I was able to fight a later game boss early and pick up an item, which was totally pointless.
I actually have a here, I'll mark it as a spoiler just in case people don't want to see anything. But Krona got this image from his game.
Oh yeah, that dude, that happens so much. So I know exactly what he picked up. Like you'll get that a lot.
This is not good for a podcast, I realize.
Yeah.
But basically it just says you cannot use this item yet. So he got something that you just can't even use.
Yeah, you can pick up certain power-ups early, you know? And that one in particular is like the last item you get. Which fucking sucks. But anyway, if you know, that'll help you not like fucking you'll know when to like go back to places and stuff. But yeah, Metroid is it's hard but fair. You know, I was complaining to Tyler about this boss that I was fighting last night. But you learn, you know, and the funny thing is like, you know, I guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, oh, like this is the Dark Souls of Metroid, and it's like, no man,
it's just Metroid.
Like, Dark Souls fucking like was based off of games like Metroid that were like you had to learn as you went. You know, you have to go up against this boss over and over and over again and learn their patterns and learn where to hit them and learn when to hit them and like learn their little techniques and stuff.
It feels really good to be playing an old school 2D game in 2021. Like it's really fun. It's hard, but it feels fair. It feels like an old school Nintendo game, like an old school Mario game, you know, like
just polished to like the nth.
And I love it. I fucking love it. I wish that we had more shit like this. I hope this sells well enough, and I'm sure it's going to, because like people are fucking going bonkers for it. But I hope Nintendo is like, oh fuck, this is a good market. Maybe we should make more shit like this. Because yes, make more shit like this. This is good. This is one of my favorite games that has come out on the Switch since it came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know? Easily. And like I much prefer 2D Metroid to the Prime games. You know, so like I'm not super like, oh my god, Metroid Prime 4, but like I think once Metroid Prime 4 comes out and everybody gets the chance, because the Prime games take place I think in between Metroid 2 and Super Metroid, or in between Metroid and Metroid 2. I think it's in between Metroid and Metroid 2. So like as far as the lore is concerned, they're not that important, and they can't really like fuck things up too much because we have official lore now that's like way past, you know, what would be happening in the Prime games. Also, yeah, Fragile, you make a really good point. A new Castlevania would be fucking, because honestly, I'm gonna be real. I know that there's people that are gonna be like, fuck, but I love Castlevania way more than I love Metroid. I love Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, the Game Boy Advance games.
Have never played a Castlevania game.
It's like a fucking metal ass version of Metroid with like
I get it.
I mean, so for instance, Symphony of the Night has this one boss that takes up 4 room tiles. The boss takes up 4 room tiles, and it's just a giant floating ball of fucking corpses. Fucking Castlevania is so badass. It's so fucking fun, dude. Like I would love to see them reboot it. They won't. They're not going to. I'm just saying it right now. Like I have given up on that hope because Konami. It's like I think that's all I need to say. Like Konami has taken all of their franchises and just turned them into pachinko machines, and that might sound ridiculous, but it's just true. It's just fucking true, dude. Like shit is ridiculous. But I
think
I would love to see Castlevania get.
I think Konami still makes the Yu-Gi-Oh games. I could be wrong, but I think they do.
I thought that was Bandai.
You might be right. It might be Bandai.
Yeah.
They
Omni
used to do it
says
though. Pretty sure.
Omni says Konami announced that they're getting back into gaming. I will believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
And they're starting with a reimagining of Castlevania. A reimagining
What does that mean?
again? Another one? Because they reimagined it with Castlevania fucking. What the fuck was that called? I did a video on it. Back in Death Mountaineers days. I actually reviewed 3 Castlevania games on the Death Mountaineers. What the fuck is that one where it's all in 3D and it's like God of War? Not like the new God of War, but like the old God of War.
Yeah. Like a hack and slash.
Yeah, a hack and slash mild puzzler. Like, yeah, that game fucking sucked.
Lament of Sorrows. That's what Cole says.
No. It was for like PS3, and it just like a lot of people really liked it, and I know a lot of people were mad about my review on it, if I can remember correctly. But
don't worry, I've got this. I'm just gonna type in Death Mountaineers Castlevania.
Lords of Shadow.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, it was Lords of Shadow, and yeah, that one just like that game to me personally as a big Castlevania fan, Lords of Shadow fucking sucked. Like I'd rather play Castlevania 64, and that's saying a lot. So I just didn't like it. Oh yeah, well yeah, and then Lords of Shadow 2 I never played, just because I didn't like the first one, and it was so long, dude, and like some of the jumping was like fucking sketchy as shit. Like it was just, and that was their first reimagining of Castlevania, so I'm scared to see what they might do with it. To be honest with you, hopefully whatever it is, it'll be a Switch exclusive and be 2D, but if it's not, then we're fucked. But it's great to see Metroid back. It is a very fluid game. Arlo is talking about how like when there's a bump, like a 1 block step up, Samus just steps up it.
Yep.
Like you don't get stuck on your fucking ankles or whatever. Yep. Like it's very fluid. The one I think complaint that I have is it takes I mean, I guess it's not a complaint because it's there to bar certain progression, but like it takes a long time to get the morph ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's the most recent thing that I got.
Yeah, it takes
I've
a
only
while.
fought one boss. Though.
Yeah.
So like either I'm having a hard time finding bosses, or like I don't know, but like it does take a hot minute to get it, and once you get it, like the entire fucking game changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's morph ball spots fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and in the beginning too, and it's like I mean with Metroid Fusion, which is the one that I played before this, because that's the only one that I hadn't played. Not a big fan of Fusion, by the way. I'm pretty sure you just start with the morph. Generally, you just start with the morph ball, if I remember correctly from most of the games. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think Fragile's right about this. Is that it's to make the slide stand out early on.
Yeah, because the slide is very useful, especially once you get the super sprint. Because you can slide and continue your super sprint.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so just take that
Makes
as
sense.
advice, because you're gonna need to do that in some like areas and shit like that, and like if you didn't know, you'd be like, what the fuck, So yeah, but it's really cool, and you start with the side jumping is really good, like the wall climbing is very fluid. Like it's not like the old games where like in Super Metroid to like jump up a wall you had to like have it perfectly timed and do all these like directional inputs. Like if you jump at a wall and just press jump when you hit the wall, Samus will immediately jump to the other side, and it's
much closer to like a 3D Mario.
Yeah, very
like,
much closer.
It's just like if you're on the wall, you can jump off the wall.
But you can't scale the wall in the same way that you used to in Metroid. Super Metroid, you can just like go up one edge of the wall all the way up to the top. By jumping
continually. Yeah, like you can't like Mega Man X that shit or anything.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that's good to a degree. I mean, it definitely does stop you from being able to sequence break a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so the speed runs will definitely be interesting. I know there's people already doing it.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, so like in Fusion, they took out everything that allowed you to sequence break. Like you couldn't fucking I mean one of the things that's most sequence breaky is when you get the bomb for the morph ball, like
Mm-hmm.
just a regular bomb, and you can infinitely bounce on those bombs straight up.
Right.
You could not do that in Fusion, and it drove me up a fucking wall. Like there was a specific amount that you could fucking go up, and that was it. So
Yeah, I haven't
um
gotten to the bombs yet. I know they're in there because it's fucking Samus, but have not yet gotten to that.
yeah.
Soon
But
though, I hope. I'm gonna play some more today.
yeah, same.
Although I gotta fucking watch. I gotta watch Mononoke.
Yeah. Well, I'm
The
gonna play and
struggle.
then I'll watch Mononoke later for sure. But I also got Monkey Ball, Banana
Oh
Blitz.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
And
fucking awesome.
yeah, I mean, it looks like a great monkey ball game.
Yeah. It's there's a lot in it. It has its own in-game currency that you get from the game. It's not there's no microtransactions or anything. So,
good.
you can customize your monkeys and buy secret characters and buy like all sorts of interesting stuff in there. Through earning your own points, which is really nice. But like Monkey Ball has always been it's always been a favorite of mine. I had Monkey Ball 2 I still have Monkey Ball 2 on the GameCube, and that game is just fucking amazing. And this game is Monkey Ball 1 and 2 and 3 put together.
Right, right.
So it's just arcade fun. It's got that classic Sega, like Sega just has this touch. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Same thing. You see it in Yakuza.
yep.
You see it in like a lot of the old Dreamcast games when, they didn't have a lot of third-party support, so Sega was just putting out Sega games. And Sega
Hmm.
just has this fun, quirky, extra Japanese like flavor to it. This sprinkle of Sega that is undeniably Sega, and I love it. And Monkey Ball is very much like the epitome of that, I think.
Yeah, I
So,
totally agree with you on that. It is very like if there is a specific game that screams Sega to me besides like Sonic, you
mhm.
know, it would be Monkey Ball.
Yeah, I would say that's like Monkey Ball is even more Sega than Sonic is because Sonic like
I would I was honestly thinking that. It's just that like when I think Sega, like Sonic pops into my head, but not the games, just the character.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? As like the
yeah.
mascot. But
hmm
in terms of like what games popped into my head, Monkey Ball is the top one.
Yeah, because Sonic has to appeal to fucking every single person. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Sonic is their flagship, so it's the gateway drug to Sega. Whereas Monkey
Right.
Ball is like, all right, here's a real hit, buddy. Like, you want to get weird? Like, here you
Check
go.
this shit out.
Cole says Fantasy Star Online is my default Sega. For a lot of people, that is too. But a
You
lot
can
of
play
people
as a
didn't have a Dreamcast. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say you can play as a Japanese guy in a ball.
That's true. You can also play as Beat from Jet Set Radio Future,
Yeah,
which
I
I don't
saw
know if
that.
you ever have you ever played the Jet Set games?
No.
Those are also incredibly Sega. Those are maybe even worse than Monkey Ball.
I
Jet Set
watched
Radio is crazy.
I watched She Says his video on Monkey Ball though.
Oh really? Oh, did he
Yeah.
make a new one?
Yeah, he got the game early from Sega to make a video on.
So many people got that game fucking early, dude.
But it's just like that's surprising to me.
Mm.
That's the first AAA company that's ever given him a game early so that he could break it.
That's because Sega is fucking cool, dude. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I think that them going as a third party developer has been the best thing for that company once they figured it out because
Hmm.
they now like they are so chill with things because they just want people to like their games and they see
Right.
things like fan games as compliments.
Which
Like
is excellent.
yeah,
Fuck you, Pokemon.
yeah or not it's yeah, Pokemon fucking I mean we just talked about Metroid. Can't
Yep.
fucking mention Metroid without
Oh, I
AM2R.
mean, you can't fucking do anything Nintendo. Like, Remember
Yeah.
Project M and shit? Like,
Yeah. Well,
oh, Project
AM2R.
M was so good.
Wait, which one was that?
Project M
Oh,
was
Smash
the
Brothers.
Smash Bros. Where they took what was it? Brawl? That was the middle one, right?
Hmm.
Not the one after Melee. They took
Yeah,
Brawl's characters and made it Melee centric, and then started adding in new moves and shit. That game is still to this day the best Smash game that's ever been released.
I believe it. Yeah, dude.
So fucking good.
AM2R was a Metroid 2 remake before the Metroid 2 remake. In fact, actually, Tyler, because you don't have a 3DS, that is your only option of playing Metroid 2. And they did an amazing job, and it got DMCA'd. They remade the whole fucking game. In like,
So did Pokemon Uranium. You ever
yeah,
play
I
that?
remember that. No, I never got to play it before it got DMCA'd.
I played it before it got DMCA'd, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, like, you know, Sega not only embraces fan games, but they'll take the people who made those games on and give them a chance.
Yeah.
Like the fucking dude who did Sonic Mania, which is the best reviewed Sonic game in fucking years, dude. Years since Sonic fucking Generations or whatever.
Right.
You
Or
know?
Colors or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Colors did all right, but like it's still, you know, I don't like Colors at all.
Mm.
Stupid fucking little alien fucks that you get.
Apparently Omni still has the install for Uranium. That's cool.
Oh, really? Hell yeah. Nintendo, the Disney of Japanese video games. Very much so. I mean, like, I like a lot of Nintendo IPs. I do not like Nintendo as a company. I think that they're scumbags. Yeah, I think they're fucking scumbags. And I think that they do this, like, you know, oh, we're for the kids, for like as an excuse to basically like fuck people over, like fuck their real fans over. They're not trying to, they don't want to continue to please their old fans. They want to continually get kids into Nintendo so that they can grow up and be sad adults who can't play the games that they loved when they were kids. You know what I mean?
And until they sell it back to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Mario 64.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I just re-upped our family plan. But I'm probably going to have to change it again once they implement that N64 thing, because I know Devin wants to play the N64 games, even though we fucking own every one of them.
Why doesn't she just play it on the Nintendo 64?
It's not portable. She's one of those portable people that just love the fact that it's portable.
I do
Beta
love that,
64.
but it's like, isn't she just playing it at home?
Yep. I
So
don't think I've ever seen her plug the Switch into the dock.
That blows my mind.
She just
I never play the Switch undocked unless I'm out.
I have to play it undocked right now because I'm waiting for my glasses to come in. Because I broke my old pair. But got a new prescription, got a new stigmatism. My left eye too now.
Ooh, exciting.
So that's fun. Yeah. Oh, here's some fun shit. I know we're getting towards the end of the podcast here, Tyler. You're probably squirmy, but
I'm so squirmy, dude. I haven't eaten yet today. I was gonna order food before we ever started this.
I see. So I went to the eye doctor last week to get a new prescription. I ended up having to pay $100 to go to Walmart because everywhere I called was booked out until fucking March, dude.
Yeah.
Target was booked until December. So I ended up getting a walk-in at Walmart, and the eye doctor there was so enthusiastic about eyes. I've never met a doctor that taught me so much in such a little time. He was great. I really, really liked that guy a lot. I wanted to be like, why are you working at Walmart, dude? You know, like,
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a very similar experience with my COVID shot and the pharmacist who did it for me.
Oh, yeah?
Best pharmacist I've ever had.
Really?
I would go back to that Walmart just to work with her again.
That's so weird. I wonder how Walmart like pays him, because really this guy was just like, he was friendly. He explained everything that he was doing. You know, he explained, because I also have a weird thing in my right eye that people have been scared about since I was a kid. I used to have like a void basically in my right eye that they thought was macular
the devil.
a macular degeneration. but it turns out it's not. And now this doctor is convinced that I had fluid in my eye from some kind of injury that basically dried up. So now what's left in there is essentially like specks of salt around my retina,
Mm.
or whatever from this fluid drying up. Think about like a dry lake bed or something like that. But anyway, so I'm talking to this guy and I was like, hey man, like I gotta admit, like my close-up vision is kind of going a little bit. Like I can only focus this far, and I showed him where I could see my fingerprints, from my hand to my eye, and he was like, "That's totally normal." He's like, "Don't even worry about it right now." And then he was like, "So basically, what happens is when you are born, the focusing part of your eye is basically a gel. It's like an elastic
Mm-hmm.
gel, right? And as you get older, it hardens,
Mm.
and right now at 30, you have lost 50% of your close-up vision. Like like you've because it's gotten harder, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't focus the way that it used to. He's like, by the
Right.
time you're 40, you'll have lost 90. That's pretty much typical.
Fuck.
Yeah. And he was like, anything past 90 is when you're going to end up needing bifocals.
I see.
So if any of you out there are my age or a little younger, a little
I mean,
older,
that's
and
what
you've
reading
noticed,
glasses are, man. Like,
yeah, if you've noticed you can no longer like put your finger up to your eye and see your fingerprint, that's just natural. And he was like it's fascinating that no matter what, your eyes will fail you.
yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter how good you are to your eyes, you will eventually your eyes will fail because of the way that this membrane is. And he was like, uh once you hit 100% is when it crystallizes, and that's how you get cataracts. That's what a cataract
Mm.
is that membrane crystallizing. And he was like, so no matter what, you will eventually get cataracts. And if we didn't have cataract surgery, eventually everybody that lived up to a certain point, depending on who they are, would go blind.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating. I was like, okay, doc, fucking learned
That is
something
really
today, dude.
interesting. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is super interesting. I was just gonna say I haven't gotten a single pair of glasses in the U.S. for the last, I don't know, 7 years maybe.
What do you mean?
I buy them online from a website called zennyoptical.com.
Oh yeah, a lot of people like Zenny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because then I can just get the prescription. I think the glasses that I'm wearing right now I paid $10 for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my
Yeah.
last pair I paid 20 for.
So
Like,
so yeah, like so are I mean, I can't really like remember your glasses. They're like a typical like, kind of like
my
thicker
current ones
brim.
are thicker, large black framed glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, they always seemed like, pretty like decent solid
Honestly, the
glasses.
ones that I'm wearing right now that I've made my primaries, I used to just have them as backups.
Mhm.
But I grew out my hair over COVID and started having the beard, and I like the way these glasses look now more than my old thinner frames that I used to wear.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah,
do have a
like
face that works really well with thick glass. Like your style right
yeah,
now, Ty, I'm just letting you know, you're fucking killing it, dude. Like
I'm very happy with what I got going on in the style department.
the beard, the
Um,
hair, the glasses, you've really like grown into the face. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean I do kind of owe a lot of that to my ex because she helped me out a lot with that.
That's fair. I mean, I owe.
Specifically with the glasses and saying that she liked my hair long, and I was like, it looks weird, but then I left it for like a month or two, and I was like, you know what, I do like how this looks. So now
Yeah,
I'm just like going with it.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's what. Like, even if relationships fail, right? Like, you always will benefit from it in some way, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like even me and Rachel, like there were things that I learned in that relationship that were lifetime important things. I learned the signs, symptoms, and fucking like red flags about somebody who's on drugs. I always know when people are on drugs now.
mhm.
Um, but more importantly than that, I learned that I can work a full-time job. I can work a hard job. I can take care of somebody. I learned how to pay bills. I learned how to open bank accounts. I learned how to fucking, budget. I learned all sorts of stuff from that relationship. And it was an awful, terrible, horrible relationship with a horrible person, but there are still good things that came out of it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, but
like,
I'm very happy. I think that if I ever moved back down to San Diego, I would be like, what the fuck am I doing with this beard and this hair and shit? But up in the Pacific Northwest, dude, this is like standard, you know? I'm
oh yeah,
fucking default Pacific Northwest style right now.
yeah. I think you look great, dude. And I'm
I
super excited for
I'm
Grant to come up.
excited. I was about to say I'm super excited for Grant coming up here because I think it'll rub off on him some, and we
Yeah,
may see a more hippie looking Grant in the future.
yeah. A more indie emo Grant,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So my eyeglasses came from Pair. It's Pair Eyewear. And the reason that I bought them from Pair, they were a little expensive, $60 for frames. But here's the cool thing about Pair, right? And I'm gonna be honest, found out about it on TikTok. Thanks to Devin or somebody on Twitter. I don't remember. Anyway, so with Pair, you get a pair of glasses, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
you just send them your prescription, and then there's this thing where you hold a card up to your head so it can, figure out how far apart your eyes are or whatever.
Yep, yep,
Uh,
yep.
and but the coolest thing about them is that you can get lenses, or not lenses, but frames, right? Extra frames that
Okay.
are magnetic. So you
Oh,
just,
what? So
yeah,
you can just
so
change out your lenses?
not your lenses, but just the front of the frames.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just boop, and then you got brand new fucking glasses that day. Oh, you want to
So
wear,
you have like a basic frame, but then you can put essentially another frame on top of it?
yeah, right in the front. Yeah, like a cap.
That's neat.
Yeah, and they're magnetic, and it's fucking dope. So I got like three different like front frames. I got
Hmm.
one that's like black on top, white on bottom. I got one that I think is like white that like fades into a black, so it's like white on top and then it fades into a black. And then I got sunglasses. So these ones actually
Oh,
have sunglasses on top of them, so I don't need to get a prescription sunglass. And
that's so
also,
nice.
yeah, and I don't have to look like a dork, with the clip-on shades. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like
know,
the.
dude. My dad has been using clip-on shades
Mhm.
for like he has three sets of glasses. He has his regular glasses. My dad has horrible fucking vision, like awful.
Mhm.
So he needs his glasses. So he has his clip-on, or sorry, he has his regular glasses. He has a prescription sunglasses, and then he has the clip-ons for just when he's driving in the car, and he can't like. He just has them there so that when the sun starts to go on or whatever, he can just clip them on.
Hell yeah, exactly. And like I just think I've always thought that they looked goofy, and there's nothing worse than transition lenses in my opinion. Um
You don't like
like
transition lenses? What? Why not?
lenses that turn into sunglasses,
Yeah.
because the glasses never look like sunglasses.
Mm.
So like it looks like you're just wearing goofy sunglasses rather than like sunglasses are supposed to be a little flashy. You know what I mean? They're supposed
Yeah.
to.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, so it's like my
I know a
sister
lot of
always
people really
has.
like the transitions though.
Well, yeah, because I mean, what's better than not having to fuck around with extra glasses or anything like that? You
Yeah.
just fucking go out in the sun, they turn into sunglasses. But there's something about the look of them. I mean, I think you can prepare for it. You know what I mean? Like if you want transition lenses, if you like transition lenses, you should get a pair of glasses that kind of work as both glasses and
Right.
sunglasses, and then it won't look so weird. But when you have like glasses with, say, like invisible uh frames, it's
Frames.
like a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
wire, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's just like
Mm-hmm.
the lens, like that just looks weird, man. It like almost looks like a John Lennon glass, yeah, like sunglasses, but like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
bad. Yeah, so I don't know, that's my own personal opinion. Like if you have transition lenses, you love that shit, like that is totally.
I've
I mean,
heard
I'm
really
proud of you.
good things about them. I don't have them personally, because I didn't pay for them. But
Yeah,
I next time I get glasses, I might consider it. I don't know. I might also just get a pair of prescription sunglasses.
you should just go to
Uh,
Pair, dude. And then you can get all the fucking sunglass caps you want. The one that I got is it's fucking God, what's that Japanese tea? We literally have some from Boxu. Um
Oolong?
Matcha.
Oh, matcha.
Matcha. Yeah, it's what do they call it when tortoise shell? It's tortoise shell, and then it transitions into matcha at the bottom, around the bottom of the
Okay.
things. Yeah, so I got those. I'm excited, and I got the Kirby's because those are like the big thick glasses. So I'm
Mm.
excited.
Yeah,
I think
honestly, the glasses that I wear right now, I think my sunglasses have almost the exact same frames, so I could use these if they were transitioned. Uh,
I have my YouTube gaming sunglasses. Those are the ones that I always use because they're
I
fucking cool as fuck.
okay, we're over 2 hours, so we should wrap up. But just last story. In college, I used to wear sunglasses fucking constantly because I was in Santa Barbara, right?
Hmm.
So it was sunny all the fucking time, so I always wore sunglasses. I realized one time that I could not go outside without sunglasses or my eyes would hurt. Because I had been wearing them so fucking often, my eyes had gotten used to it. It took me like fucking weeks to get back to being able to to just be outside without sunglasses on.
Damn.
Sucked.
You have brown eyes, right?
Yeah, they're like brown hazel.
Okay. Yeah. So there's another interesting thing I learned is that um, the color of your eyes changes your sensitivity to light.
Oh,
So
really?
if you have like really light blue eyes, like I have pretty dark blue eyes, but if you have
Mm-hmm.
light blue eyes, um, the sun is really painful, because everything is much brighter, much, much, much brighter. Um, and
Hmm.
your night vision is much better than somebody with brown eyes. So if you have brown eyes, obviously you have more melanin in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually a lot better at dealing with the sun.
Doesn't
Um,
fucking seem like it. I've had so many problems with the sun, dude.
but your
Sun
night
makes me
vision.
sneeze.
Oh, really? Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
I
If
don't.
I when I
I
go outside and it's sunny, I start sneezing.
Yeah, some people are like that. Like I
Yeah.
had this friend that was like that, and he would sneeze and sneeze and sneeze and sneeze, and it was super weird.
I
Then he moved to
typically
San
sneeze
Diego,
twice
so
and then I'm good.
oh, I see. Yeah, he would sneeze like 30 times. Like I think his record was like 35 times in a row.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Well, yeah,
it
it's just
was.
like it like crosses your fucking brain molecules or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's like I've definitely looked up on Google. I've been like, am I allergic to the sun? You know, like
Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, guys, this has been the Bonsai Popcast. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I think Tyler and I enjoyed ourselves. We needed this. It's always good to sit down and hang out.
Mhm.
The Patreon podcast will likely be on schedule this week, so get excited for that if you're in the Patreon. Got lots of things to talk about. And I would say think about the Patreon, man. It's base tier gets that extra podcast. So if you're really into the podcast and you really want to see us go like wild, like this is podcast is definitely a little bit more business oriented than the Patreon podcast. Like
Well,
the
the
Patreon
Patreon
podcast.
podcast is channel oriented and then shooting conservatives into the sun oriented.
Yeah, just shooting the shit basically between them. But
With our Wisconsin Canyon
yeah,
canon.
dude. Yeah, you got dude. 2027, we're doing it. Wisconsin, here we come. Or
Occupy
not
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Or sorry,
Wyoming.
Yeah,
Wyoming. We
occupy
don't
Wyoming.
want fuck Wisconsin. Anyway, guys, follow us on social media at bonsai_pop, Instagram and Twitter. And I mean, that's the best way to find out when the podcast is going
Yep.
live. And we are also uploading to YouTube again. So this will be up on
Yeah, I have to make
YouTube,
a
and last
thumbnail.
week's
Fuck.
podcast will be up on YouTube. So we hope to see you there, so you can leave a comment and subscribe, yada yada. But everybody, you're the best. Thank you so much. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.